welcome back to a brand new season of 10 Forward. This season, we're going to be switching things up a little bit, and I have my wonderful co-host, Jodi Pickens, here with me. Hey, Jodi, how's it going?
Doing great, Mike. Happy to be here.
Awesome. So this season is going to be slightly different. There's going to be two of us, so you get twice the opinions. Aren't you lucky? This season, we're going to be delving into Season 3 of Star Trek Strange New Worlds, which is finally gracing our screens. It's been about time. It's been so long. Is it 2 years we've had to wait for this?
Yes, and 2 long years.
Yeah, absolutely. So Paramount, thank you. Shame the show is now ending in 2 years, but we're going to glaze over that completely, and we're going to be delving into this episode, which is Hegemony Part 2. It's Strange New World Season 3, Episode 1. So let's get into it. The episode starts, well, this time there is no kind of retreat. Season 3 kicks right off into the middle of all the chaos. The Gorn are back. The Federation is on edge, and Captain Pike, well, he's kind of ready to risk it all. The opening moments pick up immediately after last season's cliffhanger. Pike makes a call that, well, defy Admiral April's orders. He tags a Gorn ship with a torpedo and follows it across the Hegemony line. It's tense, it's gusty, and it sets the tone for the entire episode. Then we get that signature opening. Pike's voice saying those, well, beautiful, iconic words, to boldly go where no one has gone before. Followed by, well, I have to say, I think it's my favourite opening score now for a long time, which is Jeff Russo's soaring theme. It's a perfect reminder of what this show does best, that classic Trek energy, with the emotional core of the modern day episodes. Now, there's also an updated title sequence, so there's lots of new little tidbits in there as well, and it looks incredible. We're in sickbay. Things aren't looking good for Captain Patel. She's infected with Gorn DNA. A traditional stasis, well, just isn't really an option. She's alerted to the serum and, well, Chapel is running out of time. Pike is panicked, but he's focused. They explore a radical solution. Illyrian DNA therapy, something that might just give Patel's body a fighting chance. Spock offers support and something more. He opens up about how deeply it affected him when he thought Chapel had been lost. It's a powerful moment, even as Christine gently reminds him that she's still leaving for her fellowship with Dr. Roger Corby. Her life is moving forward, and they'll figure them out later, and, well, if there is a later. Meanwhile, in engineering, Scotty and Pelia are working under the immense pressure to rebuild a device that can cloak the Enterprise from the Gorn detection. Well, let's face it, Scotty's cracking under all the weight of his own guilt. His last crew didn't make it, and, well, Pelia knows this. She pushes him, even fakes a countdown to force him into action, and, well, guess what? It works. But it's not just about the tech, it's about how we respond when we fail. Scotty's arc in this episode isn't just clever engineering, it's emotional resilience. This show shows how to layer its characters, even in the middle of a battle. And then, on the Gorn ship, things are quite horrifying. The captured crew learn, including La'an, Mbenga, Ortegas, and Sam Kirk, wake up inside, well, kind of a grotesque chamber that appears to be digesting them. Yes, digesting them. La'an throws back into memories of her childhood trauma, and Sam Kirk, the biologist, not the captain, starts piecing together what they're seeing. They realise that they're inside a massive organic system, i.e. a stomach. The Gorn ship is processing its prisoners, and this isn't just war, it's kind of gory horror. Despite serious injuries, Ortegas is as fierce as ever. Her arm, well, it's a mess, but she refuses to sit back. Kirk, Mbenga, and the others rally. La'an locates a Gorn interface, and she uses her knowledge from her past to activate it. Back aboard the Enterprise, Uhura and Number 1 begin connecting all the dots. There's a disturbing pattern in the Gorn's attacks. Not just activity, but inactivity. These are hibernation cycles, and what looks like random aggression could actually be an organised prelude to a full-scale invasion. Which brings us to Pike's next move. Trigger a solar flare large enough to trick the Gorn back into hibernating. The odds? Probably 1 in 1,000. Scotty warns them that they might just, well, blow themselves up. But Pike says, well, what Pike would. I like those odds. The flare works. The Gorn retreat, and amid all the chaos, the captured crew make their escape. Ortegas, bleeding and barely conscious, demands the pilot seek. I'm Erica Ortegas, and I fly the ship. And even in pain, Even at her breaking point, she does. The Enterprise coordinates with La'an to beam the colonists aboard using the code stolen from the Gorn ship. The team pull it off. The settlers are safe and the crew is home. Back in sickbay, however, Patel's treatment is well underway. Chaplain and Spock working together inject her with the Illyrian DLA, thanks number one. And, well, it's a long shot. There's no time to run simulation. Spock offers one final bit of encouragement. Maybe we just have to have a little bit of faith. I think he might have borrowed that line from George Michael. But anyway. And, well, it works. Patel survives. Pike kneels by her bedside. He prays. He tells her what he couldn't say before, that he didn't want to lose her. She wakes, she smiles, and she tells him that they're not out the wood yet. But he stays with her, and that's what matters. The Gorn retreat. But they are not gone. Hundreds of ships are headed towards Federation space. There wasn't a flare-up. It was a warning. This episode of Strange New Worlds is the best, bold, emotional, character-driven, and action-packed. It deepens the show's mythology whilst raising the stakes of what's to come. And it gives every major character, from La'an to Scotty to Ortegas, a meaningful, memorable moment. I think for me, I really like seeing Pelia and Scotty's relationship. They're almost like impending doom. If you don't do it, we're screwed.
Yes. I mean, it's such an interesting way that they've set this up because Pelia is just, she's on her own edge. She's on her own plane. Yeah. And Scotty, we know Scotty from TOS and all the movies. He's this bold risk taker. Yeah. He's doing everything he can to make all these crazy situations work that Kirk gets him into. This is not that Scotty yet.
No, we're what 7-8 years before that, and I think what I really like about it is that we see that young, almost naive side to him.
Yes, he still has so much to learn, and I think he's going to learn a lot of it from Pelia. Because
I hope so, because I love Pelia.
I do too. She's amazing.
Carol Kane.
You can't go wrong with Carol Kane. You can't. She's amazing. I'm so glad she's in Trek. But I love, like you said, I love this relationship. I love the lines it's kind of putting in their character arcs. And I think we're going to have a fun season with the two of them, even if we only get these little, small but important scenes. And so I'm hoping we kind of get a Pelia episode. Yeah, that would be great because there is so much to that character, and Carol Kane can deliver it like no one else. So yeah, I'm in full support of that.
I think the other thing I really liked in this episode as well is I'm going to say Ortegas, but I'm going to put a pin in it because I want to talk about her a little bit later on. But the whole Gorn ship thing, you can still tell it's on the VR stage, but they've done a really good job of it. And I really like these new Gorn.
Yeah.
They look incredible, and they're mean as hell.
They are. They're menacing. They're mean. I mean, this has got an Aliens quality to it, and I mean the Aliens franchise, right? So, yeah. And those movies have evolved and still, scaring the tea right out of us because that's what these Gorn are. I mean, when we go to that scene where the crew is in those pods in that digestive system of his ship, that's scary stuff. That you don't know what's going to happen. And especially when La'an's the first one out, you're like, well, she's the only one we know that survived the Gorn so far, really. I mean...
But I wonder, is that the reason why she was the first one out? It's almost like her body's been here before and knows how to get round it. Yeah. The only other thing I wasn't 100% sure on with this is it reminds me a lot of another show that happened to have aired 21 years ago this week, which is Stargate Atlantis.
Yeah.
It has a very Wraith quality about it.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
These kind of stasis pods that are there for your food. The Wraith had those. Okay, it's the Wraith that were feeding upon it, not necessarily the ship. But again, this kind of organic ship, this organic nature to it, which again is very Stargate Atlantis, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. They've done it in a way that definitely differentiates itself from other shows. But it's just, I think, something that they have to bear in mind with this, that you could very easily kind of fall down a slippery slope and end up, well, ripping somebody else's franchise off.
Yeah. But we got to give him credit
in this episode you liked.
Well, we got to give him credit about that digestive ship that Sam Kirk finds the exit where all the things it can't digest goes, and of course they find a weapon
or multiple weapons. I mean, right. I saw phasers, phaser rifles. I think it was like a Klingon disruptor or something in there. It's just like it's like a massive toy chest. Toy chest of goodness.
Right. So that was. I mean, you got to give them some props and how are they going to arm our crew to get out of there?
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
Was fun. That was great.
Partially digested weapons.
Yes.
I'm surprised none of them went bang, but you just
That's
imagine
new.
like Mbenga with half an arm hanging off or something because his phaser rifles exploded, but
backfired. Yeah.
I mean, I don't think. Sorry, go on.
No, it's fine. I was going to move on, but say what you were going to say about this.
Oh, I was going to say, I'm hoping that in some ways this is the last time we see the Gorn in this season, but at the same time, I hope it isn't the last time we see the Gorn in this season, because I really like them as a antagonist, and I really want to see more of them.
Well, and I love that that's going to be a looming threat anyways.
Yes,
and I
absolutely.
think that's going to make for some interesting dynamics. It maybe is going to impact the way Starfleet and the Federation exist.
Is it though? Because the episode kind of wraps up with them thinking that that's it. They're done. They're dusted. The Gorn are back in the home. We're not going to see them for hundreds of years now. Do you think it's going to be a kind of like an overarching season arc, or do you think that's it? They're kind of one and done. I can't imagine with as much has been vested into the Gorn through this down into the third season. I mean, we know La'an has had a history with the Gorn. Now we've got even more of these characters across the ship that have been impacted by the Gorn, and it's impacted people not in a good way. Like, this is stuff they're carrying with them. I mean, you've got war veterans out there who have survived and fought and done amazing and scary things, and it's the Gorn that they carry with them. So I think there's got to be some hanging on, and I think I have to believe anyways in my own headcanon that this incident has got to impact Starfleet and the Federation, so that maybe it's not for another 100 years that we see the Gorn, but I think the Gorn is going to shape our Federation and Starfleet. Yeah, and I think our characters are going to have a hand in that. So there are some bits of this episode that they're predictable. They're things that we didn't quite like. For me, it's the damn AR wall again. How many alien ships do you know have glossy black floors? You know what I mean? It's beginning. It's just over. Look, it's great technology, but it's so obvious when it's used. And sometimes I feel that they just need to do a better job of hiding the flaw. It's always the flaw that gives it away. For me. I get that, and I see exactly what you mean. Do you think it's just something they hope people don't notice? Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, we had the same problem in season 5 of Discovery. They're on a sand planet, and you can just see the glossy floor underneath. I mean, whatever the facility this is in, guys, put some carpet down. Just so it's not glossy black shiny cut floor. They got to call Liz from Picard. Yes, Liz, can you go and supply them with some carpet, please? I understand and I hear you, because it just becomes like a standard. It's there, it's always there, and there should be something that differentiates it from ship to ship and species to species. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you look at the photos, you can obviously, they have done a really good job of trying to cover it up, but you can just tell by the depth of field and the fact that the floor has shiny spots. You can just tell it's done in there. Although, to be fair, they do a better job of covering it up than they did in Discovery, so I will give them that one. There's some props. There's always a positive to a negative. Right. Is there anything in this episode that you didn't like?
The only thing that bothered me, and so I'm going to go the opposite of where you went with production, I'm going to go with character. And although I appreciate La'an's story and her background, I feel like the snippets they were giving us in the flashbacks that she was experiencing, I don't know, they were fast. And yes, we get the intention of them, but I'm still not clear how that's impacting La'an. Now, yes, did it impact her? Like, did she was in a Gorn ship, she was in the Gorn pod, she was feeling all the Gorn feelings. I get that. But I think as she progresses through the season, and maybe it's finding a more grounding center for herself or whatever it's going to be, or maybe, just letting herself live life a little bit more fuller without the baggage of the Gorn. I wish there was a little bit more clarity in her story right now.
It's quite jumbled up, and there's not a lot of information about it, is it? It's always, we've only got these 5, 10, 15-second snippets, and that's it. We haven't got anything else.
No, and that's what I think I just have a big question mark over her, because I think I know where they're going with her, but we don't get a lot of context in how she's dealing with all of these feelings, thoughts, and emotions. So that's my only downside. They have opportunity to make that better over the course of the rest of the season.
We've got 9 more episodes to go, so who knows?
I'll take it.
Now, there's always a kind of standout moment in these episodes, and when we were talking about this before recording, both Jodi and myself said exactly the same thing. Our standout for this episode is Erica Ortegas as a character. The character this week really took a hounding, didn't she?
Yeah, I mean,
and Melissa Navia did a phenomenal job. Absolutely phenomenal job.
Bravo. Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. Like, I mean, okay, that whole scene with the Gorn coming at La'an and La'an kind of freezing. I mean, that's not what you expect from her, so that was a little bit shocking. And then Erica jumps in and takes the hit, and takes a hard Gorn hit, and is critically injured, as is Mbenga, right? Like, he's also injured in that. So, I mean, they took out 2 of their 4 people trying to get them off the ship in one swoop. And so there's Erica's taking one to save her crew. I mean, she stepped up. And then they get onto the Gorn ship with La'an's help, with her knowing how to interface with the Gorn tech. And they're depending on Erica before to fly this ship, because she can fly anything, right? She's Erica Ortegas.
She can. And
she demands. She's critically injured. She's bleeding. All the bad things that can happen to a crewman, right? Like, this is typical red shirt behavior we're seeing, right? Like, you're gonna take out the red shirts. Here we are. But she flies the ship, and she even does that wonderful chant that we all Trek fans hang on to, is "I'm Erica Ortegas, and I fly the ship."
Yeah,
and it's
absolutely.
epic. I mean, I paused it. I had to hit pause, because I was like, "Yes, that's like a cheer on moment. Go, Erica!" Yeah. So I mean,
and then it starts then to take a turn for the worst. The acting that's going on here is incredible. Ortegas is hunched over this console. Mbenga's doing his best to kind of keep her lucid. She gradually starts to fade away. There is a lot of blood pooling on this console, and at one point, we almost think we lose her, and she's gone.
Yeah.
Luckily, the Enterprise swoops in at the nick of time, beams them back, and gets her to sickbay. But because I think there would be fan outcry if Ortegas was to die in this episode. Yes.
I mean, I was hanging on my knowledge of the kind of sneak peek trailers they released ahead of time, knowing that there were other scenes that I hadn't seen yet that had Ortegas in there. Because I was like, they cannot do this to Erica. No, we all love Erica Ortegas way too much right now. So
absolutely. So I'm glad they didn't get her off. But
me
absolute
too.
Standout. Absolute standout. After a long delay, Star Trek Strange New Worlds returns with a strong cinematic opener that resolve Season 2's cliffhanger. While setting up new arcs, the Gorn remain a terrifying threat, and the episode plays clear homage to TNG's The Best of Both Worlds Part 2. Captain Pike takes centre stage, balancing duty with personal stakes, and Anson gives a really good performance here. The ensemble also gets its time to shine, with solid moments from Spock, Chapel, La'an, Scotty, and obviously Ortegas. The production, design, and score elevate the tension throughout, but not everything works. Some storylines wrap up too quickly, and a few moments rely on the odd, convenient hand-waving. Still, episode expands gore lore, ties into Trek canon even more, and touches on themes of compassion and inclusivity. My verdict is a bold, confident return that mixes action, heart, and classic Star Trek themes. A few shortcuts aside, it sets Season 3 off to a really strong start. Thank you very much for watching the first episode of Season 5, I think this is, of 10 forward now. Wow, 5 seasons, eh? Who would have thought it? Remember, you can catch up with more of us at the Clonestar Podcast at clonestarpodcast.com. And remember, this is a YouTube exclusive. You need to be subscribed to make sure when episode 2 drops in the very near future. But until next time, live long and prosper.